Karolina Shiino is a Ukrainian-born Japanese model who is trending right now for not very good reasons. So she recently picked up quite a bit of fame and controversy because she was crowned Miss Japan 2024 despite being a Ukrainian-born white woman with no Japanese heritage. And she has also recently picked up even more fame and controversy because she resigned from her position. She voluntarily stepped down from the position of being Miss Japan 2024 after a Japanese tabloid by the name of the Shukan Bunshun released an article stating that she was having an affair with a married Japanese doctor, which turned out to be true. She stepped down from the position. She apologized publicly, I believe, and it is now pretty much over. However, this story is taking over the world right now, with articles being released in Sky News, the South China Morning Post, the Daily Mail, the Washington Times, and probably many other articles by now by the time I'm actually filming this and talking about it. So why am I talking about it? Well, there's three main reasons. Number one is because it's content, right? It gets me working, gets me productive, and it gives you guys a chance to learn something and something to watch. Number two, I think it highlights a lot of key differences in the way that we view things like race, ethnicity, and nationality in countries like the USA, the UK, Australia, etc., etc., where multiculturalism is not only a thing now, but has been a thing for quite a while, compared to other countries like Japan, South Korea, where the population remains pretty homogenous, right? Meaning that the majority of the country are indigenous to that country. The third reason I want to talk about this is because discrimination in Japan against people who don't necessarily look Japanese is pretty major, right? And although it's very different to the way that we see things like racism and discrimination in the West, where people have unfortunately even been killed just for the colour of their skin, people in Japan who don't necessarily look Japanese, regardless of whether or not they were born there or whether or not they have Japanese heritage, on the simple grounds of the fact that they do not look Japanese, a lot of people may not want to sit by them, will give them dirty stares, will assume that they can't speak the language, will treat them as a foreigner even if they were born and raised in the country and have never left it once. And so I think it's very important to speak out against these things and to make people aware that Japan isn't Disneyland, right? It's obviously it is a great country, it's lovely to visit, and obviously it's great to live and work in if you don't mind working your ass off every single week and doing unpaid overtime. But that's a completely different fucking video to talk about. And I want to give a little bit of Karolina's background so people have an understanding of who she is and where she came from. So obviously she is a white woman. She was born in Ukraine and she moved to Japan at the age of 5. I believe it was just her and her mother and her Japanese stepfather, but I don't know if he was with them when they left or if they left and met him there, but I believe he was with them when they left. And she grew up and lived there ever since. And obviously, like I said, she was recently crowned Miss Japan. She was exposed to having an affair, and now there's a lot of controversy around her and just the basic idea and sense of what it means to be Japanese. Now, I am not going to stand here and give my opinion as to whether or not I consider her to be Japanese. It is irrelevant to the video, and it is ultimately up to you whether or not you decide that she is a Japanese person. However, if you are not a Japanese person, then maybe you shouldn't go around telling people what is a Japanese. Just don't, do you get what I mean? Just, you know, maybe Japan has a declining birth rate, the population is getting smaller, not larger. So the Japanese government has released and updated policies to make the country more immigration welcome, I suppose. But yeah, I just want to talk about this story because it's taking over the world right now, and I believe it highlights a lot of the key differences between Western and Asian cultures and the way that we view a lot of things like ethnicity and nationality. Regardless of your opinion on whether or not she is Japanese, she is legally a Japanese citizen. She has lived in Japan for over 20 years. Her Japanese is flawless. And I mean to the point where you can go on to the South China Morning Post YouTube and watch her being crowned Miss Japan and giving her speech. And if you just close your eyes and you don't actually watch the video, she just sounds like your average Japanese woman. So I just think it says a lot about the way that we view ethnicity and nationality in the West compared to how people view it in a lot of homogenous and Asian countries, non-Western countries. So yeah, I mean, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. This is Toshi, signing out.